Most psychologists view leadership as emotional, which is getting people inspired, but it's not the primary. The primary is intellectual, which is what is your vision of something that will work? That's thinking. And what is your vision of how you're going to take steps to achieve that, which is a tremendous amount of thinking, problem solving, planning, and work. Once you figure that out, you can say, okay, how can we get people motivated to go along with this? But the primary is intellectual, and it's not, the leadership theories are very poor because they don't come to grips with that as the primary. So getting people motivated to do the wrong thing, let's say make a lousy product. We're really motivated. We're going to work hard 50 hours a week to make this product, but it's the wrong product and nobody wants it.
Right.
So what's the point of motivation to do the wrong thing? So leaders have to start by saying, what are we going to do that's going to work? Then we worry about motivation. So now leadership involves lots of other things like picking good people, setting up the
very, very hard.
Very hard. Setting the moral compass of the company explicitly and enforcing it. Organizing the company. How do you make the divisions? How do you deal with competition? How do you get money? How do you do training? How do you do performance appraisal? So there's many, many things, but still they're very intellectual. It's a very, very, very hard work to start and run a successful company, especially if it's going to last more than a year, and a lot of them don't. So it's a very, very difficult task. Now, I won't get into military and public. That's a different cup of tea, but it's still a very, very complex process. Well, in my book, The Prime Movers, I talk about independent vision, which we just talked about. What's going to work for this? An active mind, constant thinking, inside the square, outside the square, talking to other people, looking for contradictions, having arguments, having competence in key areas, like a lot of CEOs need mathematical competence, among other things. Competence in reading markets, competence in understanding consumers, competence nowadays, especially in the whole field of software and robots and computers and communication. Another one is being action-driven. They're not just thinkers, like a lot of academics. Oh, I got an idea here. They want to put it into action. And if they don't put it into action, then it's just a dead idea.
Okay.
Another one is passion. And by passion, I mean egoistic passion, selfish love of the work and the product. You love what you're doing. You love, for example, you love cars. You love certain kinds of software. You love clothing. You love making food and selling it. You love supermarket idea. You love hamburgers. So selfish love of product. Now, this comes to be, you have to, of course, love the customer, because without them, you would go bankrupt.
Yeah.
But if you want to survive and enjoy your life, you got to enjoy the way you're making the money and the kinds of customers and the kinds of products. So that's another one. Another one is love of ability in others. Not too many organizations can run with one person. It's a pretty small company if it's just you. So you have to love people of ability who can work with you and share your passion. And if you're threatened by people of ability, you're doomed. So you got to you love finding people like you that can think and argue and come up with ideas. Otherwise, not going to make it. Another one is virtue. If you're not going to offer value for value, if you're a crook, sooner or later you're going to get caught. your business is going to fail and you're going to end up in prison. So if you can't offer value for value, it's not going to work. So what does that mean? Rationality, honesty, integrity. Justice is very important. If you're not just to your employees, they'll leave. If you're not just with your customers, they'll find other businessmen or businesswomen to work with. So independent thinking. If you blindly follow the crowd, they might take you over the cliff. So you've got to be aware of competition, but you've got to think, this is where I want to go. You've got to love productivity as a virtue. So all the objectivist virtues are extremely critical to success in your organization. So those are the main ideas in the prime movers.